What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today we'll be doing a Vanguard 0 deck profile on Oracle Think Tank's Tsukuyomi deck. With the latest set, OTT now have the ability to not only manipulate the top deck, but the entire deck itself. This Tsukuyomi deck is amazing and is currently on par with Perfect Raizers at the top spot. This deck definitely rewards the player for being more strategic. For example, memorizing these stacks, knowing when they come, actually makes a huge difference between life and death. So in this deck profile, I'll show you what are some of the cards played in this deck, and also a little tip for you guys who want to pilot this deck like a pro. So without further ado, let's jump into the deck profile. First up, 4 copies of Perfect Guards, self-explanatory. 2 copies of Gemini. Gemini is still very important because there are a lot of 11k Vanguards right now, and Silent Tom in front of a Gemini hits 11k magic numbers, 16k. So you'll be able to finish your opponent off at 4 damage, which is very important because OTT's win con has always been Silent Tom. Since they do not have a lot of aggression, Silent Tom does still win from opponents. The only fear you have is probably the death heal from opponent, but otherwise that can't be helped. 2 copies of Red Eyes. Red Eyes gives you the soul charge just in case you don't write into a grade 1 Tsukuyomi. Grade 2 Tsukuyomi is very important to write into because it does provide you 2 soul charge when you write onto it. So let's take a look. So when this card is written and you have got how Ichibiyoshi, which is your starter in the soul, you'll be able to soul charge 2. Very important. Whereas the size 1, the grade 1, soul charge is 1 only. So if you were to miss your grade 1 or 2 chain right, red eyes will definitely fix it for you, especially for a grade 1 right. If you miss a grade 2, most likely you will either need to soul charge 1 more time by rewriting or just changing a right to Amaterasu because you won't be able to pull off the draw abilities of her. Alright, 4 copies of Faithful Angel. Faithful Angel is very important because he also turbos your deck. And also speaking of Faithful Angel, we do have the grade 1 version of the Faithful Angel. If you have 6 or more soul, which is guaranteed once you write your Tsukuyomi chain right successfully, you can draw a card and put 1 card from your hand back to the bottom of the deck. So this is very important because he does reach your stack faster and does help you send back triggers that are clocked in your hand. So a really good card is basically a good alternative to Apollon, which we used to use. So yeah, 4 copies of Faithful Angel because you want to turbo into the stack quickly, so they have complete control over your deck. For the grade 3s to play, 3 copies of Amaterasu. I highly recommend you to play 4 Amaterasu because Amaterasu is such a great backup right in case you do not write into your full moon. The reason why is because, yes, the only counterblast cost in this deck will definitely be the full moon itself. Counterblast 2 to draw 2 and put 1 into soul from your hand. So do not worry if you fail to write into full moon because Amaterasu also gets the job done. Basically, the ability to Mega Blast and draw 5 is actually very good, which is almost equivalent to the full moon. Also, if you successfully did the chain right, most of the time you're guaranteed to have 6 soul right off the bat, so you can immediately activate her Mega Blast ability, which is huge because Mega Blast not only gives you more hand size, it also digs through your deck and hit your stack even faster by 5, which is actually really fast. And also she has the ability to check top deck so that you can check more triggers or even check whether you are hitting the stack or not. If you run out of counterblast for your full moons, I highly recommend you to write into CEO because she actually has a higher power and also the ability to check the top deck. But it depends whether you're decking out as well. So 4 copies of Full Moon Tsukuyomi, one of the most important cards of the deck because all chain rights you gotta play 4 copies. If you have 3 copies, I think it's fine because as long as you have CEO Amaterasu, it's okay to write Amaterasu or hopefully just write into your Tsukuyomi because Tsukuyomi is just free chain right if you successfully chain it from your grade 2. So very good card. 2 copies of Uraili. Uraili is just there. I don't really use her much to be honest, but if you're fighting in the late game, your opponents most likely will have 2 cards or like those 2 content in the hand. You just bind one of them and you can go for game. It's a pretty nice card to have, but I only play 2 because I don't really use her that much. If I put more Amaterasu, definitely I'll be putting her in over Uraili. And the last card of the deck is 4 copies of our Heal Trigger Secretary Angel. When this card attacks, if your soul is 6 or more cards, basically it's pretty much guaranteed in this deck. Draw a card and put a card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So it's basically your angels and your blue eyes. So yeah, so that's pretty much the deck. So a few things before we begin the tutorial. What you want to have is you want to have a board and a marker probably, or just a piece of paper, so that you'll be able to take note of what your stack is. So I'm going to show you how I do it in ranked. And to know when the stack is reaching, basically minus the cards you take note of from the number of deck left. So for example, let's say you have taken note of 16 cards and you only left 32 cards in the deck. Most of the time, you just gotta subtract the number and you know how many cards to the stack. So that's very important because once you hit the stack, you can just reference to your notes and see what are the triggers and what not. So based on my experience, you usually hit the stack on the second grade 3 turn, so do take note. So without further ado, let's jump into ranked. So we are fighting against Perfect Raizers most likely. I've been fighting a lot of Kamui, so yep. So very important in Mulligan, this is a perfect hand, amazing hand. It's because priority is actually a grade 1 and 2. So what you want to do is, even if you have a grade 3, it's okay because CEO Amaterasu could be the grade 3. But since we have the grade 3, might as well send back those triggers and hopefully check them late in the game. We have Perfect Guard, really important against Perfect Raizer, pun intended. Oh, it's a Blau, okay. So Blau is also another very powerful Nova Grappler deck. So he does not ride the Blau, unfortunately. So let's start the work right now. So we failed to check any triggers, but we do have the grade 1. Since we won't be able to call any units down, we're just gonna swing the battle, and then we're gonna get to work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna check what's placed on the bottom deck. So a Perfect Guard, we write P for Perfect Guard. A blank, Angel, we put G2 Angel. Most important is you wanna know the first 2 cards. Then after that, followed by Gemini, then another Perfect Guard, and then a Silent Tom. I'm gonna put T for Silent Tom because these are actually important units. So this is how I record it. I put a P for Perfect Guard, a G2 Angel, a blank for 1 dash. Usually those less important non-trigger units, I'll just put a dash over there, and T for Silent Tom. Alright? And also do not forget that we also have the trigger check. We do not check any triggers, which is another blank. We're just gonna put a dash. So during first turn, we have checked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So it's our right face. We fill the right chain. It's okay. So we do have a lot of triggers here, really unfortunate, but fortunately we can also send them back. So we could just call out another unit just in case we want to gamble, check a trigger. So attack phase, the draw trigger. For draw triggers and any trigger in particular, you do not need to take note because they'll end up in the drop zone. So do only take note of those cards that are going for the bottom of the deck, very important. So we got a really lucky trigger. So right now we're gonna start recording our stuff again. View log. We're gonna check the stack. So technically we don't need to record our draw trigger. So we have a heal trigger. We have a Silent Tom, another T. We have a Tsukuyomi grade 1, a dash. This is not notable. Another Red Eye, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Red Eye. Once you hit 10 cards, so I recommend you draw a line to take note that it's a 10 card. And the next card will be our H, which is a heal trigger. So our 11 card will be a heal trigger, very interesting. And of course we check the draw trigger so that we do not need to include. If it's not a trigger, definitely include it. So Blaus are really powerful, just in case he checks the trigger, he could just restand and keep resending. So it's very dangerous if he actually checks the trigger. Fortunately, he doesn't check the trigger, so he probably won't stand because my power is posted up to 14k. So with the Genocide Jack, we have a huge 16k. Right. So we are once again we are gonna check. It's a free ride, so basically you get the plus whenever we do the proper chain ride. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna check one more time the view log, just to keep note before I will attack because they will be doing a twin drive. So we place Angel to bottom of deck, which is a dash, a blank, another blank, another blank, another blank. So yeah, so total put 4 cards, 4 blank cards. So do remember to draw these cards and hopefully not check them. So right now since my hand is pretty clogged at the moment, I am gonna put my eye first, blue eyes, and activate skill. I hope to draw into some grade 2s because those are definitely what I need. So usually what we put is we put the Tsukuyomies back into the soul, or you could put Amaterasu. You know, in this case I just put Tsukuyomis because the heal triggers are units that I want to send back. So I'm gonna call some units because otherwise I won't be able to hit. I have to hit this. I could call another one because most likely I can see that my units won't be going anywhere. So I'm just gonna call you Riley. Alright, and start the attack phase battle. So I'm gonna attack Genocide Jack. Very blank, 2 blanks. So do take note. Put 2 dash at the bottom. Then we're gonna attack with this. Okay, based on what you can choose whichever you want to activate. You gotta draw a trigger that's really bad. So we're gonna put a heal trigger. So write a H down there. And we are gonna put another heal trigger. So fortunately, it just help us filter cards. So let's count. So let's count. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 cards. So right now we are hitting the stack. So the next card, unfortunately, I think will be a perfect guard in the damage zone if we were to get hit. So right now we know what are the stacks. So the next damage I'll be taking will be a perfect guard. Do take note. That should confirm that we hit the stack. Yeah, so we hit the stack. Once you hit the stack, do take note and you see the P, perfect guard, cancel it off. So next will be a Grade 2 Angel. Out. So the next card draw is a non-trigger. There we go. Alright, so I am gonna skip. Very good chance for me to use some skills right now. I'm gonna use the Tsukuyomi skill because it draw me a Tom and a perfect guard. There we go. 100 IQ play there. So right now we could actually attempt to finish this game. So I am actually gonna call the Tom over and battle. Clear this. So we drew the next card we're gonna check. So we're gonna discard some cards first. Sorry, there's a bit of time limit, of course. Next we're gonna say, what? Draw trigger. So we put power to the Tom, of course. At this point, I basically know what are every single cards I'm gonna pull. He gives up because, yeah. So this is the power of the deck. I basically have everything right in my hands right now. So I know when are the Toms coming, when are the heal coming. I could basically the next card will be a heal trigger, so I could just not guard. But yeah, a really fun deck. Like you can see, I've been playing quite sloppily. Because I had to explain the effects. This deck is highly recommended for when you're sitting at home and you wanna just hardcore grind. This deck is really very powerful because knowing when the triggers come and when to draw the perfect guards, I basically am safe for the next turn as well because I do have a PG in my hand and I have heal triggers incoming. So I hope you guys enjoy my deck profile on the OTT Tsukuyomi deck. If you'd like to see more awesome Vanguard Zero deck profiles and ways you can play them, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video and comment down below on which deck you want to see next, so that I can get on to work, I guess. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Peace out and love you guys. Rawr.